What's up and welcome to Idle Insights, a show where each week I, Treavor Bettis, talk to interesting people about idle champions and Dungeons and Dragons. And joining me this week is Hope LaVelle. Hello!
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so stoked to be here. I love C&D games. I love Idle Champions. It's so much fun.
And we love having you on here and talking about Penelope. But before we do that, if folks in the chat don't know who are you for those fine folks who do not know?
Well, hello everybody. I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on the socials at the Hope LaVelle. I play Dungeons and Dragons a lot. I have been I've been so lucky to be on shows with D&D Beyond, with Demi playing RPG. I've got some other shows that I am on and dungeon mastering, and so I'm all across the community and in the
You're on
space.
both sides of the screen.
I am, and it's
Yeah.
great. I love it. So yeah, that's the things. I guess more specifically, I am Children of Erte is a show that we have our final event coming up very soon, and then of course Misfits of Aletta is when I'm a dungeon master on every Wednesday on the That's How We Roll channel. So those are the things I'm doing.
Heck yeah. I actually do. I want to say real quick for chat, we are live this week. I'm trying to get better about remembering to tell you when we're live. And we will be doing a giveaway in the middle of the show. So keep an ear out for that. But Hope, I want to kick things off. Tell me about your first D&D character.
Ooh, my first D&D character. Okay, I'm setting the stage. It was the year of and we and we were playing D&D 3.5.
Which
Ooh.
you got the box for back there, I noticed.
Yeah, sure
Which is
do.
pretty cool. That
I
box
got
is
all
awesome.
Yeah, I've got all those, and then the original AD&D, all the advanced
Oh,
Dungeons
that's
and
so
Dragons
cool.
books and stuff that confuse my brain, but I still love having them. But yeah, it was a early high school, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah, early high school, maybe late middle school. And I played what was it? An no, half elf ranger named Trinnell.
Trinnell.
Yeah, he was a very cool character. He was like very suave and like I can't remember what companion he had, but I just loved playing a ranger at that time. And it was, it's one of those really weird, like you're with your friends and like home games get really weird. Well, eventually he like fell in love with Robin Hood and like had this whole arc of like, I don't know. But yeah, that was a fun time. Those were good days.
I love that. I have heard about many game that has brought in other properties or characters from stuff before.
Yeah.
I love that. I fell in love with Robin Hood. But yeah, so that's actually Rough Rider put a question in the chat, so I'm gonna say you can post questions in the chat for Hope through the episode with question colon and then your question, and we'll get to those at the end of the stream. Well, now that we talked about your first character, Hope, let's talk a bit about Penelope, one of your other characters. Who is Penelope?
Penelope Half-Pint is your best friend. Through and through, she'll be there for you. She
There's a
is,
song that says so.
yes, there is. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love that song so much. She is a halfling druid circle of the moon. To be more specific, she's a mark of hospitality halfling druid circle of the moon. So it's
Mm.
really suits her. She's, very hospitable and she's loves just making people happy and taking care of people. Um, and she's just an adorable little halfling who is very sweet and innocent and naive and will always look for the best in people. And she just loves to adventure and make friends, of course.
She is one of my favorite characters in the game, not just because of like the aesthetic of her or the mechanics, but just she's just so friendly. You can't help but love her. She's great.
Yay!
But like and as we said, like folks, they're we have the jukebox in the game with the bardic inspiration music on there, and Penelope has a song which was sung by you.
That was such a cool opportunity. That was so much fun.
That I was not privy to that information until I heard it for the first time, and I
Okay.
lost it.
Yay!
It's so good. So okay, so we got Penelope Half-Pint. She's from the Heroes of the Plains. Who were the Heroes of the Plains, and what was she in that group?
Okay, so wow, Heroes of the Plains. It feels like a really long time ago.
I know.
Holy cow. Um, Heroes of the Plains was a group of adventurers, of the best adventurers, that traveled all across the plains. Heroes of the Plains was quite literal, and it just had the best players. We've got the B. Davis Freely, you got Lauren as Orkira, you got Adam as Briv, and
Hmm.
Jen Kretschmer as Alindra, and wow, it just keeps going and going. Holy cow! And then of course Todd. Uh, Todd was the DM, but I also say that he played Averin because that's
I
kind of
mean,
what
he
he
did.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Gosh, is that everybody in the
And
group?
Megan with the incredible Whittle
And
voice.
of course Megan. Oh my gosh, Whittle is such a great addition to the crew.
I don't know if you heard about this. Whittle was in the most recent Owl Champions Presents,
Uh-huh.
and we did a wrap up one, wrap up Idle Insights at the end, and people did their best impression of the Whittle voice.
How did that go?
It was fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome. I would never even try.
Or Lauren has been trying to get me to do an Orkira voice for
Oh,
like a year now.
I don't know how she does it. It's
I don't
amazing.
either. She switches right, both of them just switch right into it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't do it. I can't do it that
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Because you have to be really careful about doing a voice like Orkira or Whittle because you could really hurt your throat. But there are techniques to do it correctly. Just like people who like growl when they sing or do like the
Yeah.
gravelly voices and stuff. Like there is a technique that makes sure that your voice is safe, but not everybody knows how to do it. It's quite a skill.
I have not learned that technique. I will just tear up my voice box doing
Yeah, yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah. That's why I don't even try.
Yes. So Heroes of the Plains traveled across the plains and everything like that, and y'all had like a long run for a show. What was Penelope's arc like through that show?
Um, Kind of learning that life is not always sunshine and flowers, and
Mm,
learning a little bit that it might not be best to trust everyone that you meet. It was a lot of that, of just kind of growing up and realizing what it is to be a real adventurer. When you have the big dream of being an adventurer and what it's going to be like to have all these great adventures, and then to actually have them and go through all of these really big events and go through really hard times, and to come out on the other side as the best you that you can be, without losing who you were, but growing in a way that just makes you a better person. So I think that was her arc.
I never thought about how brave you are playing a character that does trust everyone in a game run by Todd Kenrick.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah.
is, I don't have that kind of bravery at all.
He actually gave me, that was the weirdest thing. He gave me a level in Warlock, and he said, "Oh, by the way, your patron is the Traveler." And I'm like, "Cool, who's that?" Like Penelope, when the Traveler showed up, Penelope was like, "Oh, hi, do you want to be my friend?" And the Traveler was like, "Yes."
That
So
I
yeah.
guess that is a good type of character for a warlock, for like a warlock patron to kind of eyes just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think I can get packed out of this.
Yeah.
Well, and at there was a big event at the end of Heroes of the
Mhm.
Plains. What happened there?
We had the best ending of any campaign I could ever have asked for. Like, the very end, the very last episode was that Penelope Half-Pint married Freely. And there was a big wedding, and it was a happy, happy ending. And Penelope and Freely got their happy ending of growing old together and adventuring and having children of their own. And it was such a heartwarming event.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put that, because I haven't heard of a campaign finale that has had like such a, yeah, just such a heartwarming thing to happen at the end of it. Because most times it's like, we did the thing, we succeeded, we all get to go, like, just relax now. But like, you got to have this nice celebratory, good event to wrap things up with. I loved that.
I think I'm gonna gush here for a minute and
Oh
just,
yeah.
say thank you to Adam Bradford, he knows how important it is to have closure with stories and characters, and the fact that, he gave us a wonderful ending to Heroes of the Plains, and then once again a wonderful ending to Children of Erte. Because I know a lot of times shows, they go on for so long and then they kind of either they
Yeah.
die out or they get canceled or blah blah blah. But to actually make the effort to allow players and the DM alike to have an ending, a closure, it really means the world. Like it
Hmm.
really is. These characters are real. They
Yeah.
truly mean something to us, and to just have that closure is just so nice.
Yeah. Well, the closure is the best. Yeah, the best way to put it. Like, even for, I think, even for groups that like their show gets canceled or something like that, as long as the group is, like, good with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, you all should play the end of that game. Like, you should wrap it up,
Yeah.
because it's just it wrapping up a game, like, while it is very emotional and it's sad that it's ending and everything like that, like, it does have this good feeling to it, of that I can't really replicate anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fourth edition game that just kind of petered out eventually, back in 2011, and
Yeah.
we actually came back in 2019 and played the last session of it. So we actually
Oh,
played, like, the campaign had continued and they'd gotten high level, and we played out the final session that I had always thought about, and it was fantastic. It was so good.
I love that.
Yeah, it is one of those things that I highly endorse. I'm just like, in campaigns, they're you can always do
Yes.
another one, but get that ending going.
Yes.
Um, so okay, we're Penelope got a new skin in Idle
Yes.
Champions. Hey, there it
There
is.
she is.
Azamar Glitch Penelope. What was the input that you had on this skin?
Color. That was literally it. I was just like, can we just make thing every like iridescent and rainbow and put in all the colors and make things glow and have stars? And yeah, that was kind of my input, of just like, the hair was really important to get right because that kind of that iconic kind of orangey hair.
Hmm.
But really I just wanted it to look like, yeah, like a cool kind of maybe a little bit steampunky iridescent gal. So
Well, what did you think when they were just like, well, we want it to look like you?
that was so, I think I might have almost fainted. I was like, hold up, what? And then I got to see, examples, and I was just like, this is so cool. So I was really, really happy with how it turned out, and the artist did such a great job. And I felt really, it's just so awesome that you guys had so much like openness to kind of let me just tell you what
Oh
I
yeah.
want, and to just, and you guys just do it. And I'm like, and then you just make it amazing. Like take all of my like random ideas and like form it into something that makes sense.
Heck yeah. Well, I mean, like, at the end of the day, this is your character. Like, we
Yeah.
wanted to be what you want it to be at the end of the day. We like we came. I'm sure we came in with, like, we wanted to be an Asmar or something like that. Like, there's a little bit of structure there, but within that, like, yeah, we want y'all to be happy with what your characters look like.
Sure. Yeah, I especially loved, and there was a lot of great input as well.
Hmm.
Like, kind of like building upon some of the ideas I had, like the chwinga on her shoulder now being more of like a spirit chwinga and having
Hmm.
the same blue glow as her Asmar eyes, and like the chwinga mask having the glowing parts to it as
Yeah.
well. All of it kind of ties in together to that same bit of magic. So I just love it.
And it works well too, because like they've been doing different types of chwinga, all like in different settings and stuff now.
Oh,
So
really?
oh yeah,
See,
yeah.
I feel like when I first picked Chewinga to be Penelope's like companion or best friend, like her like she like grew up with Chewingas in the forest. There were a lot of people who didn't like really know Chewingas or it wasn't like a really big deal, but like now they're everywhere.
Oh yeah, I love. I've loved them since they showed up in the Two of Annihilation campaign, because I was just like, what is this absolutely adorable Studio Ghibli looking thing doing in this
Yes.
nightmare of a campaign?
It's so cool because I have an artist friend who actually made that mask that is on Penelope's waist. They made it in real life and they
Oh, what?
used glow in the dark paint so that in the darkness the whole parts
That's
like they glow.
cool.
It's legit and I have it hanging on my wall and I'm just like this is the coolest mask I've ever gotten. So,
I love it. Yeah, no,
mhm.
that's perfect. So yeah, no, having different types of Chewinga hanging out with Penelope,
Yeah.
that's just telling more story. I love
Hmm, hmm.
it. Well, so with this, we've got the Asmar glitch skin, and like while the skin and the feet, swap the race of them, like we have kind of in our head of been like, okay, like are they swapping class or anything like that, but we haven't done it mechanically. So one of
Hmm.
the things I wanted to ask you is if there was another like race slash class that you'd love to see Penelope glitch into.
Sorcerer. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I think the seeing of how she would deal with magic that comes from within, like I just picture her with like kind of pulling like a jubilee where she's just like fireworks, fireworks,
Yeah.
fireworks, yeah. So, I think it would suit her.
Okay. What other race do you think that would be fun for her to show up as?
I mean, is a little bit of cop out to say gnome. I think she'd make a really adorable gnome, but that's pretty close. I'd be very similar in ways to halflings. So maybe, oh, could you imagine her as a bugbear?
Oh my God. That just given the greatest of bugbear hugs.
Yes, that'd be
Oh, and
fun.
and like the fur would have to be like the color of her hair.
Yeah, 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 and be a little bit messy and a little bit
Yeah.
disheveled. She'd still have little twigs and things coming out of them.
I like that. I've asked this question to a couple people now who have gotten like glitch skins and stuff. Bugbear has not come up. I love that. That is unique. Well, and I don't know if you know, and it's okay if you don't. The reason we're doing the glitch skins is because of the Planescape adventure, with going to Sigil and the Outlands and all of this stuff,
Right,
and
okay.
all this multiverse funness. One of the questions I wanted to ask is with her having the glitch skin and everything, has Penelope been to Sigil?
Yes, she has, and
Oh
yes,
yeah.
she has tried to look at the Lady of Pain.
Oh my God.
Because,
Oh.
okay, and Freely was there too, okay? I blame B. Dave Walters. No. um, so Penelope and Freely don't know who the Lady of Pain is. We show up to Sigil, we're hanging out, and then we hear a voice from behind us, and everyone was like, "Don't turn around," and we're like, "Why?" Yeah, so that was very entertaining.
I don't I had a group go to Sigil, and I literally I had a character specifically tell them, the Lady of Pain is anywhere. Do not look at her. You will die.
Yeah,
And still, one of my players was like, I'm gonna look at her.
yeah,
Do it.
yep,
Where is she?
yep, yep.
So I don't know what it is about, but like being on that side of the screen that just makes someone be like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
when you say not to do something, you got to do it.
Yeah, I guess that is my fault for playing with the majority of neurodivergent people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like myself, who
Yes.
will just go and do all of the chaos. Did she like Sigil? Was Sigil fun for her?
Oh yeah, yeah, but it was really bizarre because of course we were in like an Avon arc. So like Todd had like a door that was specifically for his like laboratory that had lots of like extra arms and legs and limbs and tubes of clones and like
Tubes of Clones,
yes,
a Todd Kenrick memoir.
yes,
Um,
tubes of clones. You know how Avron is everywhere? Yeah, this is how. He literally has tubes of clones in Sigil so they can just pop right out and go anywhere they want.
that
It's
man,
genius.
that
That
man.
man. Yeah.
I I do want to call it Lurking Writer's comment in the chat, which was if anyone could make friends with the lady you painted, be Penelope.
I actually like that the Lurking Writer did mention making friends. I think what was it with Tiamat?
Oh god.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
so much fun. It was such a good time.
I forgot about that. Yep, Penelope made friends with the Dark Lady
Mm-hmm.
in the most Penelope fashion of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that was so much fun. B Dave was amazing as the DM for that,
Oh,
and
Charles Mount Tiamat,
yeah,
that was a good arc.
yeah, it really was.
That's one of those that I still think back. I'm like, wow, I cannot believe we pulled that off. Like, I had no involvement in it whatsoever, and I'm just like, I cannot believe that.
It was awesome.
So okay, you said, at the end of Heroes of the Plains, Penelope and Freely got married and had a long life and everything. Like, so like, did you all go through like everything? Because I had a question here, which was like, what in your head is Penelope up to after Heroes of the Plains? But like, yeah, it sounds like you already have like a pretty good idea of that.
Yeah, at the end of Heroes of the Plains, after the wedding, we kind of got this like 10-minute opportunity to just kind of wrap up their
Oh
entire
wow,
life.
wow.
So yeah, we kind of went from beginning to end in the fact of like, oh, it's sad. I'd have to rewatch the episode to remember exactly all of the things that Penelope did towards the end of her life, which of course is still in the future because Penelope's still around. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
she's still kicking.
yeah.
But there at one point, yeah, she had two kids. She had uh I don't know if you guys these are all like really weird like callbacks to like Silver and Steel. She's a daughter named Daisy and her best friend the Chwinga, who the Chwinga in the game, his name is
Hmm.
Walton. She named her son Walton.
Oh,
Uh so so Daisy and Walton were her kids and she probably grew up to teach them how to be adventurers and yeah, I think that's yeah, it's funny because I try not to play Penelope too much in campaigns anymore. I don't bring her
hmm.
out for too much. I'll bring her out for charity games. I kind of feel like that's a very Penelope thing to do is like, to be there to help and help raise money and things like that. So I
Hmm.
love bringing her out for charity games, but yeah, I haven't really played her in a long time, so I'm sure she's off just adventuring with Freely.
Yeah, I had Lauren in a game. I think it was last year, Times a Flat Circle, where she was playing Orkira, and like that was one of those wild things where like it took a little bit for it to hit me that I'm like, oh yeah, freaking Orkira's in my game. This is wild.
Right? It's so cool.
Yeah, and so
Ah.
I like that you have like those special occasions that that Penelope gets to show up for.
I absolutely adore the moments when like either she like pops up in a game or something or I'll be playing yeah like a charity game and I'm like I'm playing Penelope Half-Pint and everybody like that I'm playing the game with are just like "Ah!" It's like I don't pull out the voice for just anybody.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay, so uh tell me a bit about Princess Iridescent.
Princess Iridescent. Princess Iridescent. I'll pull it up because I have like a million copies on my bookshelf. Here
Hey!
it is. Princess Iridescent and the Cloudy Day. So this is Princess Iridescent and this is King Claudius and it's a story here. I'll read the back. Princess Iridescent reigns over a land of color and light. But one day King Claudius rolls in and covers this beautiful sight. Come along with this princess as she teaches so kind that everyone has it within them to make their own colors shine.
That's so good. I love that.
Ew. So it is a rhyming book. It's for ages 3 to 5, maybe 6, depending. But yeah, so you can see it's
Oh
got
my gosh.
it's very colorful. Hang on.
Yeah.
Until King Claudius comes and takes away all the color. Spoilers. So this is it. So
Oh my god, I
it's
love
got
that.
amazing little creatures like a hamster, which is a hamster deer, and it's got bumble bunnies, and it's got like all these hybrid animals that are super adorable. An elefly, which is an elephant butterfly. It's a really fun children's book. It just came out. You can get it on Amazon. If you want a discount on the hardcover, I think there's a code coming in somewhere where you can get a discount on the hardcover if you purchase it from not Amazon. But yeah. So it's my first book ever.
Yeah, you wrote a kid's book.
I
Like
wrote a kid's book.
that's so freaking cool.
It's, you know what? It's actually because of Penelope Half-Pint. Because everybody was like, Penelope Half-Pint would make such a good children's book character. And I'm like, yes, that sounds so fun. I want to do that. And so I started writing. And you know what? Maybe just a little bit of a nod here to the everybody who tuned in. There may or may not be a Penelope Half-Pint children's book coming soon.
What? Oh, okay, okay.
So, but the reason that one didn't come out first is because it's been taking a long time to, get right.
Yeah.
And so to start, and I'm really glad that I had Princess Iridescent to be like my first book to really figure out how it goes, how to do things.
Yeah.
The real learning curve. But 6 months of hard work, and now I have a children's book, and I'm really happy. And I've already gotten like pictures of children and princes and princesses reading the book. And it just makes me so happy. Teachers are buying it for their school and reading it
Yeah.
to their classrooms, and it's just been so great. Everybody's been so supportive, and it's really meant a lot to me.
I just realized that I have small nieces and nephews that I need to get gifts for.
Yay!
Oh.
There's nothing better than a good book as a gift. I don't know if the kids will think that, but
Oh, I think they will. They like
okay.
books.
It's
Mainly
colorful.
because like that's mainly the gifts that I give children. So Penelope was kind of the inspiration for it, but like, how did you go about like, getting all this together? Like did finding an artist and stuff like that, or like how did that go?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, first came the idea. I'm like, okay, if I could write a book about anything, what would I want to write about? Well, my favorite color is iridescent. I love colors. How about an iridescent princess? Because who doesn't want to be a princess? And then so I
True.
sort of built this whole world of, Prismatica, and then brought in like King Claudius, and all of these things sort of just kind of like fell together, and I just wrote the story. And then I got really lucky and I found this artist. She's in Italy. But
Oh
she and
wow.
I are like kindred spirits. I kid you not. We're just like always on the same wavelength about like how to do things. And she understood my vision completely, and she worked so hard. And I think her illustrations are so good. I think it really makes the book just
Oh
something
yeah, no,
so
they're
special.
gorgeous.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a really great learning experience.
That's so cool. So is this self-published? Like did you or how did
Yeah.
how yeah,
Yeah,
that's
self-published.
dang.
So yeah, it would be nice to
That
get
is
a publisher,
incredible.
but yeah, for a first time book, self-publishing, yeah, there was a lot to learn. And of course, I did make a couple mistakes here and there, but for a first time book, I think I did pretty well.
That's incredible. Like
Yeah, thank you.
genuinely incredible. Like congratulations.
Thank
That I love
you.
that. So I mean, like, we mentioned the Penelope thing, but like,
Mhm.
is this something that you do want to do more of? Like, you want to get
Oh yeah,
oh
I've already written like 5 books. I just need them
oh
illustrated.
wow, look at you.
Yes. No, writing children's books is definitely a passion of mine that I really definitely want to keep doing. So it wasn't just like a one-off thing. It's like
Yeah,
I want to make this a thing. I just can't. I have all these ideas and all these things that I write, and then I'm like, it takes time to illustrate. You need at least like 2 to 3 months to illustrate,
yeah.
and then you have to do all the marketing and getting it all done and together for another month or so. So you can only get out maybe three at most a year. So I'll we'll see how it goes for
That's
me.
still really cool though. Like,
Yeah.
is that something that like you ever saw yourself doing, or is this just been a recent
No,
development?
not really. Not until I was playing Penelope Half-Pint, and I would get that comment all the time. Penelope would make a perfect little children's book character, and I'm like, yeah. And like, I've always really liked wholesome characters. I've always really
Hmm.
liked wholesome stories. I'm very family friendly. That's just kind of my brand, how I like things, and I just thought it was a good fit. And I was like, this is something I really want to try to do. So
That's so good. Well,
yeah,
congratulations on
thank
releasing the
you,
book.
thank you, thank
I've
you.
already seen some people in chat saying that they're grabbing it. Uh,
Thank you. Yay!
um, yeah, no, that's fantastic. I love it. I will say that I think we're going to be doing the giveaway here in a
Mm.
little bit. Lauren did just put the link for Princess Iridescent in the chat again.
Oh, thank
But
you.
for folks that are wanting to do the giveaway, keep an eye out in chat. We'll put a keyword in there. Just put that in. Okay, shortly. It's happening shortly. We're having a few things happen behind the scenes today. So just give us a little bit. And when the keyword pops up, put it in there. And for a chance to win 42 chests of your choice, excluding Bahamut chests. You can get 42 Penelope chests if you want to. Deck her out in real cool equipment. Yeah. Okay, so one of the games that you mentioned earlier was Misfits of Aletta.
Yes.
Tell me about that game.
So that game brings me so much joy. I love my players, the group. We're all such fast friends. It was amazing. And so Misfits of Aletta started out as just a 6-week campaign. It was supposed to just be a 6 shot. It was my first time DMing. That's why I was like, so we had the producer over at the That's How We Roll channel reach out to me over and over, be like, hey, will you DM a one shot? Will you DM this? So I DM'd a one shot. It went really well. He's like, okay, will you DM a full campaign? And I'm like, no, no, I just DM'd a one shot. I don't think I can handle a whole
Big
campaign.
difference.
Yes. But they really believed in me, and I don't think I ever would have done it had they not like really been like, I think you could do this. So I was like, okay, fine, let's compromise. 6 weeks. Let's do a 6-week campaign, and then we can think about other things later and whatever. But that's it. That's
Hmm.
it. um, and so we did it.
Yeah.
And I got it together, this amazing group of players, and we just all clicked. And by the second episode of the 6-week campaign, we were like, did we all just become best friends? Yep. Okay. What do we do about this? And they were like, we can't let this end. We have to play every week together forever. And so we turned the 6-week campaign into now we've been playing for over a year.
Oh my gosh.
So Misfits of Aletta became a full campaign. And you know how we were talking a little bit, this is another little tidbit for everybody who tuned in today. We've been going for over a year, and Misfits of Aletta is only about 2 months away from the end of its campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, big drop. Yeah, we're getting close to the big end of the arc. But another exciting news is we will be starting a campaign 2. So
Hey.
new characters, new story, new setting, starting in August. So if anybody's interested to come hop on into the new show or hop in and see the end of this show, it's going to be epic. It's going to be an epic ending. But yeah, Misfits of Aletta has been just a wonderful story and a wonderful time playing with friends.
I'm getting all the breaking news this
Uh-huh.
episode.
I
Thank
got
you,
so
Hope.
much for you.
Yeah. Well, so how has it been DMing this campaign for a stream? Because like, have you done a long running DM sprint as this before?
Never, ever. And I was so scared because, like, being a dungeon master, like, I was like, I have to come up with a story or an idea every week. What am I gonna
That's the
do?
secret. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. I have learned this now. Because, like, I worked so hard on those 6 episodes, like the 6 shot. I like spent like a
Hmm.
month or two trying to meticulously plan exactly what was going to happen and all this stuff, and I was like, I used all of my best ideas, and then they were like, oh, we're continuing, and I'm like, I'm out of ideas. So, but I figured out, I got really lucky and came up with like a concept that lent a lot of ideas to me. And I was just able to like, that was one thing that Duval King Jacob,
Hmm.
he told me, because he's such a great DM as well, and I've learned a lot from him. He was like, you don't have to bite off so much. Just take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
1 week at a time. That's all that matters. Just one session at a time. Whatever happens at the end of that session will help you figure out what happens next. So not don't think too far ahead, or else you'll
Mhm.
get overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, that is advice because when I'm like, and then they're gonna do this, and then this is gonna happen, and it just ended up putting so much pressure on me to try and get there. Uh, oh, oh, okay. Well, hopefully it's like,
Wait, okay, I think you're back.
okay. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Gosh, hey. I see in the chat, did Trevor become a transformer? Yes. That is my secret. I am part of the Autobots.
Yay!
Hopefully, I don't roll out. Um, but yeah, I think that's some good advice for DMing. Not taking on more than you need to in the moment. And I have to assume from the name, like this is a homebrew setting, right?
Yes, it is. I mean, we do, it is a homebrew setting, homebrew idea. It does, there's a lot of portals involved because Alceta, she is the goddess of doorways. She's a real god. She's
Oh,
in the realms of all the gods within D&D. So I found her and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool god. So,
yeah.
but she creates portals. And she gifted all of the players together with the power to make a portal. The only thing is, they don't know where that portal goes whenever they make it. So
Sliders rules. I love it.
so whenever they open the portal, they don't know where they're going to next. So yeah, so they do travel the entire planes of D&D universe.
Okay.
So they went to the planes of air, planes of fire, they went to limbo. We spent a long time in
Oh
limbo. That was
boy.
wild. As a time DM trying to balance the mechanics of limbo, but it was so much fun. But yeah, they've been through lots of different places.
That's so cool. And how has it been juggling these players? Because you have you have a chaotic bunch there.
I do. I love it. Yeah, we've got April Raygun, who is just a sweetheart, but she's so chaotic, but she's so smart. She's one of the best players. She's so smart. And then of course, yeah, Duval King Jacob, just oh man, Jacob's the best. Yeah, I've got a really rambunctious group, but we all just gel so well, and they're all such good players. They know how to be a team player.
Hmm.
And they're just yeah, it was like pure magic when we all came together. We're like, how did this happen? How did we get such a good group? I was just really lucky that we had the people that, were willing to do a six shot with me. So, and it just worked out.
It always warms my heart every time I hear about like a group that gets together for streaming and they just instantly click because like it's
Yeah.
not a for sure thing. It is
No.
like the people are professional in this industry for a reason because they can play with
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
that they may not get along with. But like when you do get that group together and it just
Yeah.
clicks, it's magic.
It's amazing because I really didn't. I've been so lucky to play with such amazing players and have groups that click so well. I think I took it for granted because it wasn't until recently, within the past year or so that I played maybe like a one shot or something like, oh, this is what it's like when we don't all click.
Yeah.
Like I've just been so lucky with, Heroes of the Plains, Beyond Heroes, Children of Erte, like all those shows that we just had such a good group of players that just really click. So I feel really lucky that I was able to get that same feeling with Misfits.
Heck yeah. I one of your players there, friend of the channel is Lee Goldberg, and I
Lee
know
Goldberg.
he has messaged me many a time gushing about how much he loves playing in that game.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, he years ago, he was like, if you ever DM in a game, I want to play in your game, Hope. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna hold you to that. And then literally when we decided to do the 6-shot, I was like, the first person I'm gonna ask is Lee.
Heck yeah.
And he was the first one to sign on.
I
And
love it.
it's been fantastic. He's fantastic.
Well, you also mentioned Children of Erte there. If folks don't know, what is Children of Erte?
So Children of Erte is a D&D 5e game that is within the Homebrew world, from the mind of Deborah Ann Wool. And we're a bunch of humans that went on a train trip in the real world, north of New York City, hopped on a train to have a week-long vacation in the wintry Great White North, or whatever you call it, the snowy mountains of Canada, or whatever, and then magic ensues.
Yeah.
And we get whisked away to this magical land where we have to figure out that we are the chosen ones that have to save the world. Fantastic game, beautifully done.
And yeah, and it's been going for a bit. Like, and Lauren telling me like what level you all were at this far in, I was like, this game. The thing that I love about it's a slow burn. It knows it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
And it enjoys that.
Yeah.
Like, tell me a bit about your character.
Well, my name is Miss Robin Beckett, and I am an 80-year-old woman. I am years old young. No, 80 years young. I'm still kicking. So, Robin Beckett is an 80-year-old adventuring grandma. Her little thing is that she's done everything there is to do in the world. She's been on every adventure. She's had every job. She's been through everything, but she's
lived an 80s montage.
She has lived an 80s montage. I love that. She kind of has this catchphrase where she's like, this reminds me of the time when I blah blah blah, so she's a wizard. So the way I constructed her was that you know how wizards learn, that they learn their spells through knowledge and like studying. Well, Robin learned how to she learned all of her spells through her experiences in life. So every time I cast a spell, I made sure to tie it to something that she had done previously, like a certain job or something.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on some ideas right now, but everything was tied to the real world of like why. Oh yeah, the reason she can use vortex warp. She was like, well, I once was a magician's assistant, and here we go. And she'd like take a sheet, like a tablecloth, and throw it on the bad guy, and then they disappear and reappear somewhere else. And she's like, ta-da! So
I love that little bit of theming there. That's so good.
It was so much fun to have to justify all of my spells that I could do with the different experiences that she's had. And I actually created like a 10-page list of different jobs that she's had, and like kind of justified like what she was doing, and like I had this whole like backstory, and I just got to pool different jobs at different times. Like, oh, I was a substitute physics teacher, so I know how to do this and that, and so that was kind of her thing. And her spell book was actually a photo album.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so if she needed to prepare her spells, she would just look through her memories, like look back at her different jobs and look at like
so
different things that she did, and then that's how she would prepare for the day. So
that is so fun. I love that.
yeah, she was such a doll. I loved her so much. Well, I love her, but her story has come to an end. But yeah, she's great. I so fun. I here's the thing is I was so nervous about starting a new show with a new character after having finished playing Penelope Half-Pint for 5 years. I was like, how am I gonna top Penelope Half-Pint? Everybody loves Penelope Half-Pint. what am I gonna do? What if this character's not as good? What if nobody likes them? What blah 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 blah. And I had all this thing, and then just one night it just came to me, and I was like, and Robin is like the exact opposite of Penelope. You know, Penelope is young and innocent, and Robin is so like old and like with so much expertise, and has so many experiences. But I really do love her, and I think she turned out great.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah, and Erte's wrapping up here soon, or that hasn't happened yet, right? No.
So the ending has happened. So
Okay.
the campaign is finished, but we are coming together one more time next Tuesday for a final after show
Oh, that's
where people
awesome.
can come and ask questions and get the final wrap up of the story.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad y'all are getting to do that.
yeah,
That seems like a good cathartic thing to do.
yeah, it
Yeah.
absolutely is.
All right. Well, we got some questions in chat while we've been
Oh,
talking. Let's see what chat's been up to. The Lurking Writer says, question, Hope, you also got to voice Iris for the cinematic CGI trailer for Idle Champions. What was that process like, and what are your thoughts on the character compared to those you've created or voiced in other settings?
oh wow. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you exactly my brain when this was happening. When I stepped into the booth to play Iris, this was my head. It was the coolest experience to get to play Iris. I just, I know there were a lot of people up for the opportunity, and when they said we was like, we'd love you to do it, and I'm like, oh my God, it was one of the most exciting castings, I'll say, that I've ever gotten. And here's what's funny though, because I stepped into the booth and I was online with everybody, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And then Todd Kenrick hops in on the channel, and I'm like, for some reason, I froze up. I was like, wait a second, I don't want to do these voices in front of Todd. And he's like, what do you mean? I don't know. I suddenly got really nervous.
Todd, turn off your camera. Mute yourself.
It was so funny. But it was really, really, really great experience of just, in the booth doing all the lines. And I don't know if we ended up doing a second. I don't know if I can say that we did a second run of Iris things with Minsk. Am
Oh,
I right?
oh no, that was a different thing. Yeah, but don't worry about that
Okay,
one, chat.
never mind. Never mind. Well, it was really cool because it was really cool to be able to have that input of like, what do you think Iris is doing here, or here's the direction of what Iris is doing, and then being able to put my own little spin on it, like with the different guttural noises and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Definitely, probably the hardest voice I've ever done, because as you know, I have a very not quite a low voice. So to play like a monster or whatever, I can't even do it right now because like my voice is shot. But um, she definitely has one of the harder voices for me to do.
Hmm. Yeah, it was one of those voices that it was unique for the character, but it's still what I heard. I was like, oh, that's Hope. I loved it. I loved it. It was great. I will say for chat, no, that is not spoilers. That is just something that didn't end up happening for various reasons. So we're not spoiling things here. It's
Sorry, I
okay.
didn't know.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Let's see. Rough Rider 1995 says, question, what are the major differences you enjoy, dislike between DMing Misfits versus playing in children/other streams?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they're both so I don't know. They're both so great. I love. That's a hard question.
I, I will say, like from my perspective on things, like when I'm in this situation, like they are two very different beasts. Like I enjoy
Yes.
them for almost completely opposite reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a big difference between like showing up to be a part of a story and to be, to be contributing
Yeah.
to a story than to be the one that is uh giving the story to have it contributed to.
Hmm.
They're just
Yeah.
literally two very different things. It's great to be a player because you have less prep. And there's nothing I love more than really not knowing what's going on and being able to just dive in and improv throughout, through the story. Being a DM, I think, it's that whole balance we were talking about earlier about what is better, to prepare too much or to prepare not enough. Like it's kind of that balance of like, you're and I'll say that I have a lot more anxiety as a dungeon master because I
Oh
want to
yeah.
I want to make sure the story is good and that it makes sense and that not only are my players entertained, but that the audience can follow along and you know I think, but I absolutely love being a storyteller.
Yeah.
So and they're both of them are versions of being a storyteller.
Yeah.
It's just kind of which seat you're on.
I will say that like I love DMing. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. But definitely one of the bullet points on the positive side of being a player is I just gotta show up. I don't gotta do
Yeah,
any prep.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
I just like what kind of mischief we get in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
uh,
quite freeing.
all right, we're gonna do one more question because I actually lost track of time and did not realize what time it was. So sorry, folks, about that if I didn't get to your question. But we're gonna do this last one, which was Lurking Writer. His question is: Misfits streamed, and if so, where can I watch it?
Yay! Yes, it is streamed live every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. PT Pacific time on the twitch.tv/ that's how we roll _. So I'll throw it in chat
Yeah,
unless somebody beats me to it.
I
Twitch.tv/
think you should be able to do it there.
that's how we roll _ if it lets me. Will it let me?
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you're on the list. Cool.
So yeah.
So yeah, definitely be sure to check that out and campaign 2 that's coming up.
Yes, it's gonna be very, very cool. I'm very excited. Another homebrew a brew world that now that it's not just gonna be a 6 shot that now I have to make a whole campaign out of like this will be a fully thought out, like real, like put together setting and world and all the characters are gonna be knowing that they're gonna be a longer campaign because for
Yeah.
this one it was only 6 episodes and they're like, oh, I'll just make this kind of throwaway character. Oh no, now this character has to have an arc? Okay. So we'll be a little bit more ready for it this time, but it'll be really great starting in August. But please join us for the end of the Misfits saga coming within the next 2 months. We'll be finishing out. So join in now, and it doesn't matter if you've never watched it before. Join in, you'll have fun.
Heck yeah. Well, Hope, thank you so much for taking time today to talk with me. This has been an absolute blast. If people want to find you and what you do on the interwebs, where can they do so?
All the socials that are out there. It's just at the Hope LaVelle. That's me.
Perfect. And be sure to pick up Hope's book, Princess Iridescent and the Cloudy Day, and also the Azamar glitch skin for Penelope. There's so
Yes.
many Hope LaVelle things that you can pick up right now. So be sure to do those. But that is gonna do it for this week's episode of Idle Insight. So until next week, take care of yourself.
Thank